Breaking news. This just in. The meta has been redefined. And no, we're not talking about the Murky Hand Scythe, or even Lap's armor in the Black Knight shield. No. We're talking about the Crucifix of the Mad King. Tons of damage. Not a very good moveset, especially if they roll in a bunch. So how do we fix that? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. First of all, this is the soul level 160-ish build that I was screwing around with, and discovered this beautiful tactic. This is what I'm wearing. It's your try-hard armor, the boring stuff, just because I wanted to get as much absorption as possible to be able to make these sorts of trades, as you'll see. So this first clip is just going to be kind of the realization phase, as me and my friend were playing around. And we're going to see exactly how potent this crucifix can be. So, the first thing we're going to notice here is the range of the stomp on the weapon art can outspace an historic R2. Second thing you notice, it doesn't take any magic whatsoever, which is nice. And then the third thing you notice, if you time things just right, with a little sprinkle of magic, you can roll catch after the first two, and also that it combos into itself. Well, let's look at the second clip now. Now, halberds have always done pretty well against straight swords, so this really isn't profound. But just to see exactly how much damage and how quick somebody can die if they don't see if they don't see that coming. It's really hard to break the hyper armor on the weapon art, and as you've probably noticed, it doesn't take any magic whatsoever. So we're fighting against the same guy again, just to see. Now, this is a quite silly soul level range to be fighting at, but I think the point serves true for just about any soul level. But with the range, spammability, and the hyper armor on the weapon art, there's really not much he can do, especially if he's holding out shield. And all it takes is just yeah. Just one more weapon. Not to mention, the stamina consumption is what I'd call less than a great sword. So that means that you can do this weapon art stomp 6 times with a reasonable stamina bar, with hyper armor all throughout. He starts the heal, and he tries to cast the spell, and the weapon art would not have served to kill him at that point. Now, if I had gotten caught by one R1 from that DMB split leaf, I would have died. Now, here's a situation of one of those weapons that they press a button, and then they're in an animation for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And in this case, it just really eats their health. And I can just spam this. And he rolls in, I just press it again. It just... Oh, he's starting an animation. I just spam it. I have the hyper armor to poise through, and I have enough health and absorption to eat whatever he throws at me. Now here's where we get into a little bit more of the potential of the weapon, because obviously, so the stomp combos into the stomp. And I showed before that you can roll catch with another stomp, but I've found that stomp into a jumping R2 serves pretty well, and maybe even stomp R1. Additionally, the R1 combos into the stomp. So in this situation here, you get 2 stomps off into the jumping R2, and that's 700 some odd damage. And there's not really much he can do at this point. Especially with how you can turn around the weapon art and again do it 6 times single stamina bar. We run out of stamina. He tries to roll and attack us for it, but by that time we already had enough to do it again. So these are a few cases, I think, of when maybe it doesn't go perfectly. Maybe it was a little bit of the weapon matchup. Maybe it was just me being bad. But these were still good games, so I'll show them anyway. The trade right there, it's... I don't really want to make trades with that. I'm surprised I even have the absorption to take an R1 from a DMB, but go for some cheeky stuff. And at this point, he's kind of wizened up to the strategy. But regardless, even if he knows, if he tries to swing into me, there's not much he can really do. It's just see an animation, then I get hit there with lightning. It's see an animation, and then just press the L2 button. It's really as easy as that. If they're in a swing, you can just press the L2 animation again. If they get stunned, you can just press the L2 animation again. Then, once they get hit by the second one and they get stunned, now it's a roll situation. Here's another game against him. And yeah, that's the split leaf DMB. And at this point, I can't trade. I mean, I can't. So at that point, if you're really trying to win, you just switch to something else. But anyway, GG's. And lastly, here's just kind of a situation where the stomp meta kind of worked, but a little bit of our damage was lost too early, and now I can't really make too many trades. And in this situation, you really can just go back to regular playing. I'm surprised I even survived this, because I really just lost it at the beginning there with the backstab and whatnot. But if you just play typical running R1s, delayed R1s, that sort of stuff, I mean, the Crucifix still serves. We get the rolling R1 with the 2 stomps there. Get a clean R1 there. Try to get that roll catch. I think it was a little bit too early for that stomp. And I thought that was going to be a clean R1, but it wasn't. And you can really see how you draw them in by missing a stomp. But by the time that they are drawn in and they do an attack, of any sort, really. It's already too late, and the hyper armor on the second L2 has already started. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed these clips. You know, I hope this redefines the meta. It's not gonna be a top duelist tryhard weapon because ultimately, pretty much everything is gonna lose to the Murky Hand Scythe or 3 Astorid R2s. But for an invasion, for just a random weapon art pullout, it does pretty well.